Hello everyone and welcome back to Always Watching. Today we're discussing the new Netflix movie Woman of the Hour. So briefly, the film follows a young woman aspiring to become an actress who crosses paths with a serial killer during an episode of a dating show. Directed and starring Anna Kendrick, the movie divides its time between serial killer Rodney Alcala and aspiring actress Cheryl Bradshaw. It is based on the real story of Rodney Alcala, a serial killer who became known as the dating game killer because of his appearance on the hit TV series The Dating Game. At the time, producers did not conduct a background check on him and based their decision on his looks. They thought he was incredibly charming and charismatic. Although Cheryl survived her encounter with Rodney, many other women did not. Rodney was convicted of killing 7 women and in total is believed to have murdered over 100. What makes this case quite terrifying is that over the span of his killing spree, a number of people tried to alert the police to how dangerous he was, but their complaints fell on deaf ears. Starting with what I liked, I appreciated the tone of this film. Even when we were not following Rodney, you could still feel how grimy and creepy Los Angeles is. I thought Anna Kendrick's performance was very strong and served as a great commentary on the relentless misogyny of this era. Cheryl is presented to us as a struggling artist, struggling to make it in an industry that prioritizes money. Despite all her efforts and all her hard work, she's not really achieving much with these auditions. She's not really able to land any roles. Despite the pressure, she maintains her integrity, even though it's becoming increasingly difficult to justify living in Los Angeles. And to make matters worse, she's a woman living alone. And you see that all her interactions with men, there's this undertone of violence. Even before she ever comes in contact with Rodney, you can see that she's constantly compromising her boundaries or watching what she says in order to make the men around her feel more comfortable and feel more wanted, even though she wants nothing to do with them. And this behavior has gotten women killed over the past century. Like this idea that you should never disrespect a man, even though he has the capabilities to kill you. And I think what I enjoyed about her performance is that she's not naive. She's very much aware of the ulterior motives of these men claiming to want to help her. However, during this time, and still to this day, there's a lot of pressure on women to maneuver a man's ego in order to survive. I thought her performance also did a great job of explaining or showing why Rodney was able to get away with his crimes for so long. Because even though we don't follow Rodney, like this is not a true crime thriller, like Rodney is not the focus of this film. Like it's trying to make a broader social commentary. Though we don't follow Rodney in detail, like he does come across enough men and women prior to his time on this dating show that can attest to how dangerous he is. The actual murders are not shown on screen. We only see the lead up to every murder and the aftermath. My only criticism is that the film makes a number of time jumps that at times feel disjointed regarding Rodney's life, so you never really get a sense of how his crimes evolved over the years. So this back and forth can feel a bit confusing. You can kind of feel like, wait a minute, what era are we in now? However, the purpose of this movie is to take a snapshot of a moment in this man's life, specifically his appearance on this dating show. I think the film gives us enough background, or we follow him around enough to get a sense of who Rodney is. Like this is a dangerous man hiding in plain sight, and the film tries to explore how is it that a man this dangerous is even able to hide in plain sight for over a decade. I think his appearance on this dating show really symbolized the cracks in the system that he was able to fall through and commit his crimes for so long. And you see it in the film, even when women tried to warn the producers of this dating show that this man is dangerous, they refused to take it seriously. Contestants on the actual show felt that he was a creep, like they didn't even know him, and they could tell that there was something off with this dude. It's almost like no one really cared. In reality, Cheryl never actually went on a date with him. However, the movie takes artistic license to imagine what such a date would have been like. I felt like this was really important because it's one thing to meet a dangerous man like Rodney by coincidence or by chance. It's another thing for you to be served up to a man like this on a silver platter on national television. I mean, what are girls for? What are women for? Like, this is the question the movie tries to ask. Like, how is this even a thing that happened? In the movie, they take a number of creative decisions, and you see that Cheryl kind of goes off script and she asks a lot of questions, trying to take ownership of the process that she feels is pretty demeaning. Like, this is a game show meant to just, it's a bit sleazy. It's for ratings, and so she tries to make the best of it. And in the end, she chooses the man who answered these questions the best. And I think it's interesting that in real life and also in the film, like, she did not have to go on a date with this man to know that he was off. And I think often women are pressured to forego their survival instincts in favor of lip service. This man was barely vetted. Like, other men determined that there was nothing wrong with him. However, when Cheryl meets him, she knew instinctively, like, this man was off the chart. I think the movie did a great job of utilizing Rodney to tell Cheryl's story, because her growth is seen throughout the film. Like, at the start, she's kind of maneuvering egos, she's trying to tiptoe, she's walking on eggshells, and by the end, she's just straight up calling it out, this creepy behavior. Overall, I think this movie is well worth a watch. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and for a directorial debut, it feels very smooth. Again, she wants to tell this bigger story, this kind of commentary about how a man like this was able to go on for so long. But not only that, why is it that the cries of a lot of these women were muted? Why is it that no one would listen to them? I think it's like a very clever commentary. So you guys let me know what you think, and until next time.